Oh man. I think one more good shot up near the top might end this. Yep. All right, guys. Today we're going to be testing out and shooting the M31-A Wasp from Delta-slingshots. Now, Preston, a retired police officer, ended up quitting the force and going back to university or college to learn how to become a machinist, and started making slingshots. And let me tell you, I was absolutely shocked when I first got this thing in my hand in the mail. I did the unboxing and my first impressions and first shots with this thing. And you can go ahead and check up here somewhere for that link. And you can check out that video first if you want. But today we're going to get into some specs. We're going to do a little bit more shooting with it and see how she fares out. And I've got a little bit of experience under my belt with this guy now. So I'll be able to bring you some good information on it. So first, let's get into the specs. We'll turn this camera around. So this is it, the M31-A Wasp from Delta-slingshots. Look at that cool logo. I got to tell you guys, the fit and finish on this thing is some of the best I've ever seen, ever. But before we get into the specs, we're going to go ahead and talk about the elastic I'm using. This is South Wales Caddies 0.6 with a GZK pit locating pouch. I've got them tapered from 22 to 12, and we're chucking some 9.5 millimeter steel today. And it's bringing the heat. And I love these bands and I love this frame. So the bottom of that magnet to the top of those forks is 130 millimeters overall length, or 5.11 inches. The fork width on this guy from fork tip to fork tip is coming in at 95 millimeters, or 3.74 inches. We got single screw clipped fork tips that are able to shoot up to 1.5 millimeter bands. And Preston has told me that he shoots on the regular 1.2 millimeter bands with 11 mil steel and has no problems at all with it. And I believe him, these things hold real securely. So all dressed up and ready to go. This slingshot comes in with 188 grams or 6.6 ounces. Not too bad. Still feels light enough to hold in your pocket and carry it around on a regular basis. And it's heavy enough to know that you haven't lost it and it's still there. Also adds a little bit of stability to your shot, which is something I appreciate. Great stuff. This M31-A Wasp is made out of all G10 for the most part. So we got G10 body, G10 pins that hold it all together, G10 clips, but we've got PLA plus plastic for the two plugs that go in here on the other side of the riv nuts and the sight that's up here. And I'll explain the sight on this because I know some people had some questions about it in the beginning, saying it was going to snap off or get broken. You'll never ever touch this thing. This is put in a great spot, and it shoots really well. So when I did my unboxing and first impressions video on this slingshot, some of the comments were about the sight was in question. They're saying, oh, where it's located, it might break and all that stuff. Well, I've got somewhere probably around 1,000 shots with this thing now, and when I'm shooting it, the bands or nothing really ever gets in contact with that sight at all. And I would imagine probably the only thing that is going to break it is if you have a really horrible release and you frame hit it. That's it. That said, you could see right here that I'm able to pivot this thing around anywhere I want. Now, this is a really good thing for me. When I tend to shoot long draw for whatever reason, I've got my arms stretched out all the way back here, and if I can show you here, I usually use a reference point somewhere around here on my frame. Now with this guy, I can actually position that up there right into that spot. Also, Preston had mentioned that he had set this guy up like this, with this kind of thing here, for people who shoot pickle forks, who use a different reference point on there, or who also use to flick their shots. Now that can make a big difference on how you use, or what you use as a reference point on your frame, especially if you're coming back here and you're like for me, when I'm shooting a pickle fork at a short draw, I always end up giving it a little bit of a twist on the frame to have it come across the tops of the forks. So you can actually swing this guy out a little bit for in that case as well. I'm going to turn the camera around real quick and show you how you can adjust this thing and how it can set up a different reference point for you if you're having an issue shooting, or if you're getting a twist on the pouch or a speed bump. So let me give you a quick look at this. All right, so you can see here, I've got this guy set up right now. So if you're looking at the backside, it's slightly above. It's slightly above my band, where my band comes in. So not too bad for a short range if you wanted to use the sight. See, on the back end, you'll be drawing up like this. It's actually a pretty good position. Not too bad at all. But I prefer to shoot off my fork tip. So I could just take this guy and swing it right out of the way. But now if I'm shooting long draw, where I like to aim is a little bit over here. For whatever reason, I haven't quite figured out why it does that, or why I prefer to shoot slightly inward on the fork when I'm shooting long draw. It could be because I do flick a little bit to avoid getting some hand slap. It could be a bunch of things, but this little guy is pretty much out of danger at all times. You never really have to worry about it, even here, unless you have a frame hit, bam, that's it. It's the only thing that's going to knock that out of place. But so far, I'm pretty impressed with that guy. All right, let's see if we can sting this lighter with this Wasp. Let's get back 15 meters. All right. Here we go. Hopefully you got a good view. Ooh, buddy. I'm telling you. M31-A Wasp for the win. Should probably talk a little bit about the grip. And let's get on over there and take a look. All right, guys. I just went and set up a little wild boar in there. I'll give you a quick look at them right after we're done this segment about the grip. But let's put a 9.5 millimeter in his face before we get into it. Problem solved. Okay, so I really like the grip on this guy. Now I know I talk about how a slingshot should always have a bit of a chunky bottom. It's going to force your hand towards the forks, which this guy does. This one also comes with a little belly on it too, so you can actually get a couple of fingers in there nice and comfortable. I am a thumb brakes kind of guy. You can see right there, it holds very, very well. Now, they do say that you could shoot this guy with a pinch grip as well. We're going to go ahead and give that a try. I do have a extra large size hand. My palm is really big, but my problem is I got these little tiny sausage fingers that don't really, I can't get a really wide grip on it. But we're going to go ahead and try a shot with it and see how it goes. I think if you got longer fingers than I do, this will be very shootable in a pinch grip as well. So let's maybe get another piece of chalk up there and see how that goes. And we'll shoot it in pinch grip. All right. So that little piece of chalk's a little bit smaller, so I kind of zoomed in a little bit closer so you can get a better look at it exploding if I hit it. So here we go. Taking a shot in pinch grip. Pinch grip works. Sorry guys, here's what we're gonna do. One of the most important things to a slingshot is how well it holds. You want to make sure that when you're holding onto that thing, it's locking into your hand. You're not getting any movement, no slipping, no movement, nothing like that. It's very important. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to take a couple of shots today with the 9.5 millimeter steel, same bands and everything. I've got a 60 millimeter target down at the end. We're going to take a couple of shots, and just as I'm getting ready to shoot, I'm going to put it in slow motion so you can see the action of the whole thing, how well the frame stays in my hand. So I'll let the shot go one time, then I'll do another repeat of it in slow motion so you can see what kind of movement is involved in the slingshot. So let's get to it. Here we go. I'll also give you a couple of angles. Didn't feel anything there. All right, have a look from back here. Nothing. No slipping, no movement. Locks right into your hand real well. Grip, 2 thumbs up. So this is a good all-rounder slingshot, guys. So anywhere from target shooting to just plinking in your backyard, I imagine would be just as good too. Popping cans, having some fun. And if you're into hunting with your slingshot, I do believe this guy will cover that too, especially when you're able to put a really heavy stinky band on there. You're going to be popping things from all over the place. Now, these are 3 nice size pheasant heads from a pretty damn good distance. We're somewhere around 14 to 15 meters, and we got 1, 2, 3 all busted open, and we've done a good job. So let me tell you, if you're looking for a frame, you might want to consider one of these M31-A Wasps from Delta 9. This is a fantastic little frame. All right, I guess we should talk about the pocketability of this frame. Let me just get one more hit. Oh, from behind. All right, since we knocked it down, we'll put one more and then we'll chat about the pocketability. There we go. So now we're at about 15 meters, and we could talk about this, about the pocketability of this guy. Well, so far, I guess we could say it's nice and smooth. It's a comfortable weight. You can slide in and out of any pocket that you have that you need. Not an issue at all. Right here, it's in my breast pocket, very comfortable. If you're out on a hunt, you can take that, deploy it, take your shots really quick. Pretty nice. Also, it'll fit into a pocket easily enough. And if you're like me and you always got a little bit of ammo in that pocket, this will help you pull it out, which is pretty sweet. So there we go. We've reloaded. We got the slingshot in there. Everything's good to go. And if you want to ever pop it in and out of any pockets, it's not a problem at all. It'll slide into a back pocket real easy, just like that. It's heavy enough that you're going to know what's in your pocket, so you're not going to lose it. And it's light enough that you can carry it in your pocket all day without a problem. So any purse, pocket, bag, or satchel, or mooch bag, anything that you guys are using on a daily, you could take this thing anywhere you go. If you want to pop off a good shot while you're walking down the street, hit some pine cones, shoot a pesky pigeon or a squirrel or anything that's in your way, you could take care of business with this guy at any point, anytime, any place. Pocketability, top notch. Grip, top notch. Looks pretty damn cool. It's an accurate shooter. This is a win. There we go. Awesomeness. Well, we put a pretty good beating on these 3 pheasant heads. Got a bunch of shots on this guy from 15 meters. Busted this can up pretty well. Destroyed some chalk. Killed this pig. And where'd that lighter go? And we blew up this guy from a good fair distance as well, 15 meters. I think there was another chalk in there somewhere too. Well, what can we say about this bad boy here? The M31-A Wasp from Delta-9 Slingshots is probably one of the best surprises I've had in a long time when it comes to slingshots. It's always nice to see something new coming up. We got a really extremely well designed and made slingshot. Easy to use clips, very, very secure. Fit and finish is off the hook. It's got an optional sight up on the top in a new type of design that I've never seen before, which is pretty cool. It's got a magnet at the bottom to store your ammo. It's got a nice long lanyard with a matching bead on there with this really cool tool attached to it. So you'll never ever lose your tools. It's attached in there. You can't get them out. I've tried. They're in there for life. So whenever you're needing to change some bands or do some adjusting, everything's right here. Everything you need is right here. All you got to do is bring yourself a spare set of bands, and you're going to be in business shooting like an absolute savage in no time. So, overall performance, the shooting experience of this thing is great. Came out here in the first video that I did on the first impressions. I also mentioned this, but it's a very easy frame to get along with. Once you pick it up and you start holding it in your hand, you're moving it around a little bit to where it gets comfortable, and they're like, oh yeah, I like it. And then you start shooting, it just locks into your grip. Whether you're a pinch grip shooter or a brace shooter, it'll work. I have some short fingers but a big palm, and I was able to put a good precise shot on that little piece of chalk in a pinch grip, and I'm not a pinch grip shooter, so that's a real big win. When we did the close-ups of the grip, I give you 3 angles. There was absolutely no movement, no slipping, no nothing. Where I put my fingers in the beginning of the shot is where my fingers ended up at the end of the shot. The recoil is very low because of the little bit of extra weight on the frame. It's not an ultralight frame. It's kind of somewhere in the middle of the pack, which is kind of nice. So that also lends itself to a good pocketable frame. Because of its smooth texture and colors, the smooth texture and shape, you'll be able to slide it in and out of a pocket anywhere you go, whether it's in your pant pockets, your shirt pocket, bags, anything you want to take this thing along with you. You're going to be able to fit this in there. It's going to be comfortable enough and not too heavy to feel like a burden, and not too light to feel like, oh crap, I lost my slingshot, which is pretty cool. So all in all, this is an absolute win. It's going into my forever collection, and that's where it is going to stay. I'm in love with the M31-A a Wasp. Great frame. So that said, what did we do today? We put some good hits on those 3 pheasant heads. We hit some chalk. We hit some, put a nice 15-meter lighter shot on there. We got that little pig, which I wouldn't mind trying a 15-meter shot on that with this. We busted a can, did some long shooting with that, with the flipper. So huge 3 thumbs up going into my forever collection. If you don't have one, you should have one. And if you're looking forward to, or if you're looking into picking up a slingshot, and you look on Preston's Etsy store and it's not there, or you don't see anything, just shoot him a message, let him know you're interested, and then you can talk about what colors he has or whatever, and maybe he can get you one built. But for all those details, you'll have to ask him. I really don't know, but really, the M31-A Wasp is an absolute keeper, and I can't wait to get to shooting some more. So anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap this one up. You stay safe, get out and practice, be good to each other, and please be good to each other. We need a little bit of that these days. I'll see you again soon. I love you guys. You're freaking awesome. Bye for now. Well, this little piggy went to my fridge. Okay. I know this is kind of stupid, but we're going to have to try them from 20 meters. Hey, thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up button for me and subscribe if you haven't already. If you're looking for a slingshot made in America at a high quality and a reasonable price, I got to tell you, you got to check out Delta-slingshots. A little bit wide. You will find all links in the description. On this end screen here, I've attached a couple of playlists for you to check out. I hope you enjoy. You take care. Bye for now. There it is in 2. Yoo-hoo.